12. Dear Kiddo, take my hand into darkness. The Cherry Creek incident. Dear Kiddo, take my hand into darkness. The Cherry Creek incident. Dear Kiddo, let me tell you a story about one of the wildest weekends I've ever lived through. A weekend that, in hindsight, I probably should have taken as a gigantic neon warning sign. It was your mom's birthday, and we decided to go to Denver, specifically Cherry Creek, for what we thought would be a relaxing getaway filled with good food, nice wine, and adult-level sophistication. But as it turns out, Cherry Creek was just the backdrop for one of the most surreal screaming in a parking garage moments of my life. Buckle up, kiddo, because this one's a doozy. Cherry Creek, the fancy neighborhood of mystery. First, let's talk about Cherry Creek. It's nice. Too nice. Think upper-class suburbia, lots of boutique shops, wine bars, and the kind of restaurants where the appetizers cost more than my first car. It wasn't exactly brimming with nightclubs or youthful energy, and honestly, I thought your mom would have chosen a livelier spot. But no, Cherry Creek it was. I chalked it up to her wanting to pamper herself, which, fair enough. Birthdays are sacred. What I didn't know was that Cherry Creek was about to become the scene of a psychological thriller I hadn't signed up for. The text that changed everything. We were driving around, enjoying the vibe, when your mom's phone buzzed. A text. Harmless, right? Wrong. It was from some guy she hadn't seen in years, a former patient of hers from the cancer clinic where she worked as an integrative physician. That text flipped a switch in her brain, and suddenly, our peaceful weekend getaway turned into The Exorcist's Cherry Creek edition. She didn't just react. She reacted. It was like watching someone go through all 5 stages of grief in 30 seconds. I don't even know what the text said. Probably something benign like, "Hey, hope you're doing well." But to her, it might as well have been a cryptic prophecy foretelling the apocalypse. The parking garage meltdown, the real show began back at the hotel parking garage. Your mom wanted to be left alone. Fine, I thought. Everyone needs space sometimes. I went up to the room, stretched out on the bed, and waited. And waited. And nothing. She didn't come back. I decided to step outside for a smoke, hoping some freshish Denver air would calm my nerves. Walking back into the garage, I heard it. A sound so unhinged, so primal, I thought someone was being exorcised. Following the screams like I was in a bad horror movie, I finally found her, sitting in the car, screaming at the top of her lungs, and sobbing like she was auditioning for a Lifetime movie. Now, kiddo, I'd seen your mom upset before. But this was next-level chaos. I cautiously approached the car and tapped on the window. She looked up at me, her face a Picasso of emotions, terror, sorrow, rage, and something I can only describe as, "Why are you looking at me?" Instincts versus optimism, a battle of red flags. Every instinct in my body screamed, "Run! Get out!" This isn't normal, but I ignored it. Why? Because, like an idiot, I thought, she's just having a moment. People have moments. Spoiler alert, this was not a moment. This was a full-blown psychodrama unfolding in the Cherry Creek parking garage. Still, I coaxed her out of the car and back to the room. I figured she could cry, scream, or collapse there, away from the public eye and the acoustics of the concrete walls. She did recover, sort of. And by the next morning, she acted like nothing happened. But that moment haunted me, kiddo. Not because it scared me, but because it should have. Why did this happen? Who knows? To this day, I have no idea what set her off. Was it unresolved emotions? A dramatic overreaction to a completely normal text? A deeply buried past trauma? All I know is that it was weird as hell. It wasn't like she found out someone had stolen her identity or that the IRS was after her. This was about a text from a guy she hadn't seen in years. Looking back, I realized this was one of many red flags I should have paid more attention to. Her intensity, her ability to emotionally combust at the drop of a hat. It was all there, waving in my face like a giant parade of warning signs. But I didn't see it. Or maybe I didn't want to. The lessons I learned, and you should too. Kiddo, if you ever find yourself in a situation like this, trust your gut. If someone has a screaming meltdown in a parking garage over a text message, take that as a hint that things might not be entirely okay. Relationships can be complicated, but they shouldn't involve parking garages, guttural screams, and the kind of weeping that could win an Oscar. Still, Your mom is who she is. And for all her quirks and occasional breakdowns, she's unforgettable. If nothing else, the Cherry Creek incident taught me the importance of paying attention to red flags before they turn into full-blown parking garage sirens. Love, Dad.